Alrighty, I think we are in. Alright, so we are joining a game that was already in progress. I've rewound a little bit, so right now we're starting up. It is a Tarek Graves bot against Soraka Ezreal. Right now they are tower diving, and Ezreal is going to meet, his demise. Let's see if that Tarek can get away. Now here's the important thing that I want to get to, since the Soraka is not going to get that Tarek. Oh, but look at that! Too busy talking, and Karthus has come bot to kill Graves, and let's see if... Man, I am excited about other things, and right now we've got everybody else doing stuff. We have that Gragas who's now headed bot to cover it. He's throwing out some barrels. He's missed with the barrel while this... Wow. An infused Karthus is going to be pushing this lane real hard. Mid has got Katarina and Nocturne, but let's focus on that. Nah, bot, they pushed it. They're pretty happy with that. Let's try and figure out who the jungler is as quickly as possible. This may not even be a jungler game. Oof, wow, and look at that, the whole reason I watched this, already down the drain. xHazzard, the guy that played with CLG during MLG, is top lane Italy, so I'm hoping to get a little bit of seeing what made him so great, but oof, maybe this isn't him, maybe this is someone pretending to be him, because this person has gone 1-3 against maybe a top lane, yeah, it's a top lane Shyvana. See, Nocturne is moving around. Jungle Gragas. There we go. And top lane is already down. Blue team is doing, terrible. Terrible against red team, which is an advantage of 1 extra tower, over by 4 kills. Most of those kills being focused on Karthus, so I'm guessing we missed some ults. Red team is not going to be taking Dragon. They have double warded Dragon, both red and green variety. And we're going to see a lot of pain heading down on bot lane. Tarek has stuck his neck out, and Nocturne has ulted on top of that Tarek. He's doomed. We have Graves popping his ult, trying to deal some damage. Katarina right now is just kind of roaming around in jungle, not quite sure what she's up to. And xHazzard is back up top. Right now Katarina is going to be, hitting that wall of pain, being slowed down, Shishimpoing away, and... Gragas pushing mid. This seems to be a disaster for blue, kind of a steamroll. I hope I haven't wandered into a quick surrender 20. Graves is doing his best to deal with Ezreal, who is going to be filled with tons and tons of mana. He's building a standard AD, Dorn's Blade, and Berserker Greaves. Nidalee's already returned back to base. 3 GP, 5 items. Maybe this is an xHazzard, but I've never seen him play Nidalee before, so this is kind of exciting. Graves is going to be heading back into lane with Tarek. They're just going to do their best to try and farm as best they can, and using Buckshot, he's going to make sure he doesn't miss any last hits. Not exactly the best use of Buckshot, but he's gonna need some gold because he is trailing behind 100 CS for Graves. Now look at that, he is 6 ahead of the CS of Ezreal. And they are completely tied. 80 carries are tied up. Gragas, Jungle Gragas, looks like he's going to be coming in for a gank, but Graves is not there to do the majority of the damage. This will most likely just be forcing them to head back to base. They're pushing. Right now we have Karthus and Shyvana. Oh, this would be the perfect time for that to happen. Hopefully I am not wasting. And he is going after that Soraka, pushing her out of lane. Tarek, will he land the stun? Yes, he has, and he's breaking his armor. Gragas, they're just trying to do damage. They cannot. Yes, they have slayed her. Graves would have made that a lot easier. Let's see here. Katarina is running away while mid tower is being destroyed. Red team is now leading by 2 towers, but blue team managed to get an okay kill bottom lane, killing the support. They're going to be able to pressure this tower. Ezreal without the constant infuse, and Nidalee seems to be doing a good job of pushing top while Shyvana was gone. Nocturne, however, waiting in the bushes. He's probably going to base. There's no real good point that he's going to be able to jump on that. Shyvana and Nidalee are still trading blows. 3 GP items on xHazzard here. He has almost 4,000 gold in the bank compared to Shyvana's 4,900. So look at that. Extra gold's going to help out that. And of course, I can't see the bottom people, but you know, we'll see how that all goes down. Karthus is blasting his ult down, almost killing that Katarina. She's probably going to head out. She's being advised to retreat. Hopefully she'll do that. Waiting in the bush. Coming out there trying to help out xHazzard. Nocturne is jumping in, absolutely obliterating Katarina. Very low xHazzard. Oh no, and Karthus just seems to be at the right place at the right time as xHazzard is trying to flee as best he can. throwing some javelins to try to be annoying, and Gragas is going to be basing away as well. Let's see if he can make it. Oh! And he intelligently is running away. Let's see what he can do. Karthus taking some damage. We also have Nocturne heading up as well. Not quite sure what Gragas can do to get away. He has taken some damage recently, so I'm not quite sure if he's going to be able to run into a turret and try and get a kill against the enemy team. His ult is up, so he may be able to... And now he is just going to die underneath the... Oh, he does burn that ultimate. Taking Karthus down very low, missing Nocturne with a barrel. His spell shield was up, however, and that would have turned out well for them anyway. We have Graves and Tarek farming the double golems. Ezreal is going to be coming in, hitting Graves, but absolutely melted by Buckshot, ultimate, a stun, and Katarina in there as well, taking tons and tons of damage. Katarina actually taking the kill there. We got 3 people pushing bot. Shyvana is going to be heading up into mid, going to be duking it out with that xHazzard once more. Karthus there as well, this amazing roaming Karthus, doing tons of damage, right about to get his Archangel staff. Oof! And Katarina's coming in there, taking some damage from Karthus, but managing to melt him almost immediately. xHazzard convincing Shyvana that she doesn't want to stay in mid. Now should be approaching straight head-on, maybe with a minion wave, or maybe trying to meet up with Nocturne, who's running around with a double buff. Red team finally losing a turret on bot. Red team seems to be angry. A lot of angry pins. Oh my gosh, Karthus has teleported in there, but a good stun from Tarek and Smokescreen are going to be slowing him down. Never mind, Tarek is having to do a little dance of death right here, and Karthus is pissed. Yeah, he's got that troll Karthus. That's a revive teleport, getting immediately back into the fight. Jeez, so much damage, and he just does not have, and that, oh man, how much did she get away with? Soraka is getting away with under 50 health. That is amazing. xHazzard is jumping in, managed to take out that Karthus. Not going to be able to do a lot of damage. Katarina in there as well, doing some damage to Ezreal. Shyvana jumps in, missing the barrel, being pushed back into tower. Tower is going to be doing a lot of damage. He's going to be chasing after Katarina, who's jumping around, doing as much damage as he can. They're all chasing in that fire field, taking magic damage over time. Nidalee shutting down that Shyvana, getting some valuable gold in the process. However, Ezreal did manage to score a tower kill, and Nocturne with that double buff has been pushing really hard up top. xHazzard is not going to be catching... this Ezreal, or he catches him, and it's in a bad way. I'm going to go hard to say this is not the xHazzard that we saw in MLG, and I'm severely depressed that this is the game that I bothered to cast. Let's see here. Blue team is kind of collecting themselves. We may be looking at a surrender in 3 minutes, but you know what? A good wipe will turn this around. Let's see. The characters that I'm not able to see at the moment are Soraka. So she's currently built 3 GP5 items and some boots. The camera's telling me that I need to look at Katarina. And Tarek, come on. Tarek, his build is currently 2 GP5 items, and he's probably building towards Mercury Treads. Oop, Karthus has found Gragas in the jungle. Let's see what happens here. Defile doing tons of damage. Gragas not managing to really do much against him. Katarina jumping on him, dealing some damage. But he just seems to be unstoppable. Moving around, scooting around really fast. Gragas stopping him, and there we go. xHazzard getting a kill, while Nick Inc. is running away. Katarina is running forward, and so is Tarek, taking a little bit of damage from the almost dead Defile. And we have blue team pushing forward. They're going to run into that Shyvana. Probably going to be trying to push mid tower. Never mind, we have a peel off. Graves seems to be going for red buff, but it's not there. Big waste of time. And he is going to run in without any help, probably smack dab into Ezreal, who is beating him in kills and has a full Trinity force. But Graves, isn't really lacking in damage. They could probably melt his face off if they manage to land a stun, ultimate, and buckshot combo. Gragas is there as well right now. We're going to have the makings of a pretty solid team fight as Nidalee is returned to top to farm and push top tower as best you can. Red team is going after Dragon. Let's see. Their jungler is... Well, they don't seem to have a jungler. Oh, Nocturne. Jeez. It is late. Nocturne managing... xHazzard managing to finally take top tower, and everyone's dancing around. Red team is, let's see here, 4K, 5K ahead of their opponents, and this could be pretty damning considering how this all goes down. Everyone's trying to run around. Gragas trying to put some pain down on that Shyvana. She's just got so much defense. She does not care about tower damage. And they're going to come around. Look at the ward coverage right now of Red Team. Katarina running into that bush. She's going to take tons of damage. Tries to flash out. Karthus ult doing some damage, but not enough. Nocturne has leapt onto jungle. Gragas, he's taking tons of damage at the moment, while Graves pops up behind and kills Karthus. He's going to get a little bit of CS, while Red Team is going to push that mid turret, dying while laughing. Katarina and Graves doing their best to jump in there, not really going to do any kind of damage, while Nidalee is going to be hucking spears. This seems to be a real clueless battle right now. Ward fight, ward on ward as Shyvana tanks tons of damage. xHazzard being separated from his group. Will the Fear Tether go down? No, Nocturne misses that, but he is managing to tank tons of damage, using his ultimate to try and get away. Taric is following him, using his ultimate, and right now shut down. They're going to be chasing them down. How many people are we going to see go down? Ezreal is... He is going to be falling behind the wrist, so this could be very bad for Blue Team as we have a very powerful Ezreal coming up. Nope, he's coming up on the side, being spotted by a ward. xHazzard out for blood, trying to go for that Soraka, missing a spear. Shyvana is diving on top of him. Right now they're going to be tanking towers. What's going to happen here? And Karthus is back in the fight. They may want to get out of there. Wall of Pain slowing him down, and xHazzard is going to be leaped on. There we go, slowed down, not doing as much damage, and Red Team is pushing forward again. Karthus definitely seems to be the MPV of this match, but that Shyvana also very, very fed. Let's see what goes on right here. Oof! Not doing a lot of damage, but that lowers the armor of her team. Taric is face-checking that Karthus, being separated from the rest of his team. This chase could work in their advantage as, oof, that buckshot doesn't do a lot of damage. And a pretty good Gragas ult pushing... Karthus's final dying moments a little out of the help. Oof! Oh, a great Ezreal ult taking out Graves, figuring out where he'd be, and Graves kind of face planted right there. Let's see. We are after the surrender time, so it looks like Blue Team is going to try and rough this out. Let's see. The gold difference is 6,000, so they've kept it rather the same, but they are ahead in towers. They've pushed basically. Oh man, that tower is down to 75% health. We'll see what happens to that. And Nidalee is pushing back top, has a finished Rod of Ages and 3 GP5 items, generating a bunch of gold, but I don't think that it really matters because Nidalee's counterpart, Shyvana, is, oh, well, slightly behind. Look at that. And Heart of Gold will not leave, there we go, will not leave my screen. Ezreal's back bot probably farming. Taric is running around. He's running around as if he had an Oracles, which is kind of funny, but he doesn't have one. So he's just going to get spotted continuously as the ward fight continues. Oracle on neither team as the looks like people are going to be grabbing their buffs and farming it up. Oof, Nidalee is running around kind of in the danger zone. Huck and Spear is doing tons of damage. Oof, but Shyvana wants a fight and leaping over the bushes, hit by some fire, but right now not a lot of aggression. Will Ezreal jump on that Katarina? Looks like that's not going to happen. She has a Rylai's Scepter, so that's going to slow him down. Spell Vamp to keep her alive, which will be a pretty good counter, probably more Spell Vamp than Lifesteal that's on Ezreal at the current moment. But he's probably building into a Bloodthirster with his current item build. Let's see what happens right now. We got the making of a team fight. Let's see who initiates. Right now we could have Katarina leap forward. Nidalee, they want to join the fight. Let's see if that actually happens. Nidalee is coming for the fight as their support teleports out of there. Karthus and Gragas are duking it out. The stun is down. The damage is there. If they can get out of there, they've lost one of their main damage sources. The Ezreal ult doesn't manage to take out Gragas. And let's see what happens here. We have a split push from Shyvana. She's going to be able to do tons of damage. We'll see what happens right here. Yeah, a little bit of a split push, which has separated Nidalee. She's taking the bait. And currently in the moment, we have Ezreal and Soraka working together rather nicely as Katarina does a little bit of farming. Red Team really wants this turret. And if another solid push, I mean, Karthus will be back in just a little bit. And we'll see what happens. His teleport is up, but his revive is not there as well. He has his ultimate, so the next team fight is going to be really bloody for Team Blue. Oof, doing some damage to Ezreal, but the Trinity Force has given him some health, so he's going to be doing okay with that. Nidalee teleporting back to base. See what happens if she does with that. Buying a needlessly large rod. Oh man, her spears are going to be doing tons of damage right now. And we can see Katarina and Graves farming it up, healing up. Graves has an Infinity Edge and a Zeal. Usually people build a Bloodthirster, but with 3 deaths, 3 kills, it's probably the best call to go with that Infinity Edge for guaranteed damage, as I don't think he's going to be feeding that BF all that well. Or BT all that well. Some more farming. Someone is going to break out this fight. And we'll see what happens. Karthus going after blue buff. That's very good for him. And, yeah, we seem to be slow at the moment, which is good, because mentally catching up with this match. Gragas is going to go farm bot. Blue buff, this is probably going to be the next fight, but nope, not there. Oof! And Nidalee leaps onto that. Probably going to be getting away with that blue buff. Probably the best call. You're going to want Nidalee to have that blue buff. You want her hucking constant spears, hotshot style. Let's see what happens here. No one is bot lane. Red team going for a dragon. Looks like they're paying attention when dragon is respawning. They have vision on dragon. They're in this moment between fights. Let's check vision. So this is red vision. They have okay ward placement, I suppose. And this is blue team vision. They have no idea where red team is, and red team is heading mid. This Gragas is probably going to be caught out of position, but he's doing okay. And red team is bunched together. They're probably going for a Baron, a 25 or 26-minute Baron. They're doing okay, 6,000 in the lead, 4 kills ahead, and they are going to be hitting that Baron. Shyvana will be doing the tanking. Or they could be tricking blue team into getting. Nocturne is definitely checking. They have been spotted on that ward, but no one really has a long-range ult. Shyvana could jump onto them, but we'll see what happens. Ward's being knocked out. Karthus taking some damage, but healing immediately back up by Soraka. Karthus taking tons of damage from that spear, and Nocturne is popping that ult there, leaping in. Karthus blasting that ult as well. People are melting. Taric taking tons and tons of damage. He's running down, and Graves is going to be trying to run out of there. He's separated from the team. Nocturne being separated from his team. Graves, oof, not going to make it out of that. We have our first death of the fight. Oof, Ezreal doing too much damage. Nidalee is all burst damage to sustain in his lifesteal. We're going to keep him going as Karthus runs around. Oh, man. That was a terrible 2 for no encounter. Red team completely demolishing blue. Let's see what happens. Oof, throwing out barrels. They are not going to go for Baron. Red team is going to push mid tower, and they're going to take it easily as Shyvana is doing tons of damage at the moment. Yeah, with the Wits and her Twin's Fang, she's going to be doing tons of damage. Nocturne is back, and let's see what he is going to do. Blue team running in. Not quite sure what his plan is. Maybe he thinks he can steal with his ultimate, but it's not going to happen. He's going to melt almost immediately with all of that Baron buff damage. And that Ezreal has got 6 kills, and he is doing just fine. His Bloodthirster not exactly filled up, actually. But that ult just beefed him up rather nicely at the moment. xHazzard being caught somewhat out of position, and he is just going to suffer a painful death. And the rest of the red team is going to catch that Graves. He is being slowed down, and a few tank hits on Karthus. Oh, as that tower melts, we are going to see a surrender any second now. Red team is mercilessly pushing. They should probably just end the game at the moment. There's nothing that blue team can offer to really slow them down. Nocturne uses a spell shield. He's going to get enhanced attack speed from that failed snare from Taric. Ooh, they seem to be pulling back as they are afraid of the combined damage of Gragas. You know what? You have a lot of regional burst damage with this team right here, so it's probably a good call to get out of there. But they will be spawning super minions. They're going to back up as a team, and they're going to start claiming their buffs because their jungle is relatively open. Soraka killing that last little golem, little mini golem. Karthus pushing bot, just continuing to get gold, continuing up his build. Let's check the support builds I can't see on my screen. Soraka, Aegis, that's good for a team fight. Still rocking some GP items, and Taric, 2 GP items, planting some wards, Mercury Treads. So he's got some magic defense, which is a good call against that Karthus. Nidalee, has she done anything with... Let's see what kind of money she has at the moment. She's got 1,300. Will she turn one of those GP items into something? Is she going to sell it? Will we see a Deathfire Grass now? She's probably saving up for a Death Cap with that needlessly large one. But at the moment, I'm not quite sure what they can do. Oh, red team has put out the Ping of Death on the central tower. Blue team has farmed what they can. They're going to do some last-minute shopping. Who knows if they'll even be able to get in position in time for the march of red team. Karthus has revive up and teleport, so he'll probably just run in laughing as he should, and he'll probably go for he wants to die in the most, he wants to die in the best position for him. Graves ult doing literally no damage to the enemy team, as their poke is doing tons of damage. xHazzard could be doing some damage with some spears. We got some poking out with barrels and spears, but not Defile missing. A lot of missed pokes right now. And eventually someone is just going to do something explosive. Red team is trying to create vision inside of the blue team base. They're over on the Shyvana's dove on the tower. She just does not care. Not going to be taking a lot of damage. Ooh, vision is being cut off by that Grave smoke bomb. And oof, and we have lost Karthus, which is not a loss at all. Nocturne diving in on there. And that Katarina is shut down as the blue team is pushed back. She absolutely melted, and they're going to take that inhibitor as well. And let's see what's happening here. They're going to push into the central turret. That wall of pain doing absolutely a great job of convincing blue team to run to the best of their ability. More spears being thrown. xHazzard trying to throw some spears, getting absolutely melted by that Ezreal, and killed on his platform. Gragas wants revenge against that. Up, and the kill comes down. Karthus probably going to laugh. Let's hear that laugh. Oh, Shyvana's going in for the laugh. Well, that was a massively terrible one-sided beating, but you know what? We're putting these stuffs up. Who knows if that... This is the night of who knows if that's really that. Maybe it's all Dyrus, maybe it's all xHazzard. Hopefully you enjoyed, so have a great night.